lag before I can start it.
Good.
Yep.
We're live, everybody. Welcome back to Aquarium Drunkard Transmissions at Big Ears, Day 2.
Day 2.
I'm Jason Woodbury.
Yeah. Is it day 2.5? Is it day 2?
It's day. Yeah, you're right. It's day 2.5.
It's Saturday. It's Saturday morning.
But who are you for our viewers?
I'm Tyler Wilcox with Aquarium Drunkard.
We're coming at you from Old City, Java, and excited to be here talking with folks today, talking about what we saw last night, what we plan on seeing today. Tyler was out late, even later than us, and
Did it?
And he dirty three'd.
Yeah. I got dirty three'd last night. It was a late night, but it was pretty much worth it. At the Tennessee, it's great to see a band like that in a huge old theater. It was sort of incredible, it's this ornate thing, and they were fully just raging and exercising demons, I think.
It's amazing. That's been my favorite thing about Big Ears. It has been seeing huge crowds for music that in the mainstream would be considered marginal or not exactly something that you would have huge crowds for. But it's been awesome to see stuff like that and see all these shows filling up.
Really cool seeing incredible improvised music and seeing everybody hanging on every last note.
Every last scrong.
It was incredible.
Well, we have some guests here with us already, so we're going to invite...
Let's do it. They got here early, so we're
going to invite 2/3 of Sus up. So if you guys want to pop up and grab a mic.
Have a seat. Our chairs are sort of like school chairs from...
Are we getting school?
Yeah. Introduce yourself.
I'm Bob Holmes from Sus.
Yeah.
And I'm Pat Irwin from Sus.
Yes. And you guys are doing a lot this week.
Yeah, it's been busy.
It seems like it's like every you're doing something every night.
I think we're done playing for the time.
Oh, okay.
And for the rest, we've got panels, we've got interviews. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Nice. Yeah. It seems like a lot. You've been at the Point, which is a beautiful church space.
Yeah.
And then you were at the Standard. Is that where you're playing? Or were you playing?
No, the Greyhound.
The Greyhound. That's right. Yeah. It was a beautiful bus station. I was in there last night.
I don't know if beautiful is the word.
Well, I was in there last night for SML, and I suddenly sort of clocked that it was a Greyhound bus station. And I was thinking, isn't this great that this is this kind of horrible place where I can imagine, being the most depressed I've ever been. I haven't been to this particular Greyhound bus station, but if you've been to one, they're not wonderful a lot of the time. But this was, transformative, so it was great. But yeah, tell me about Ambient Apocalypse, the first performance, because that was the visual, situation that you guys got into.
Yeah, it's really the debut of our new album, Counting Sunsets.
Yes.
And we played most of it live. Structured version of it. So I don't think we really knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. When does that record come out again?
Beginning of May.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And then last night was the Across the Horizon festival. You guys almost have a mini festival within the festival.
Yeah, you
right?
described it as a rolling thunder, which was definitely true.
Winifred Raymond, Hayden,
An American was the one that I caught most of.
Yeah.
Which was beautiful. Chuck Johnson was there DJing. How do you wrangle all those people? It's
it took a while, but we have relationships with most of these artists because of the Across the Horizon. So, and I'm always amazed when people say yes, and they always seem to say yes. They'll do it. I mean, and they know that it's about collaboration, it's about surprises, about doing, getting up there and not doing what they are going to be doing at other times with it, right? just worked out. And this was the first time, you know, we did this last year, two nights last year. This was the first, different than last year, that Sus really interacted with the artists.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
artists
yeah.
on the stage.
Yeah, who were you jamming with?
We played a song with Ken Pomeroy,
Nice.
2 songs,
Yeah,
which was really fun to work with a singer.
yeah,
She's on another level.
yeah, yeah.
And it's really a beautiful experience for all of us trying to resolve.
Yeah, yeah, the accordion, ambient accordion, which, yeah, is incredible.
Really beautiful.
Had you guys, I mean, was it just kind of flying by the seat of your pants? Had you guys figured out what you were going to do? Was it going to be?
We did talk about it. At the end of the evening, Luke Schneider and Dave Harrington from Dark Side did something, and then Sus came in on that. So that was a surprise for all of us. But we talked about what songs, because the most important thing, as far as Big Ears was concerned, was trying to stay on schedule. So we really had to kind of, like, when you have 9 acts in 4 hours,
Yeah.
the scheduling is important. But everyone just jumped in. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what for on a broader scale? I mean, you were here last year. Had you been before that to Big Ears? What do you love about this kind of festival? Why is it different from anything else? Because it does seem different from anything else to me.
I won't speak for Pat, but the thing I love about it is also the thing that drives me crazy about it,
Yes.
which is the
I know what you're going to say.
fear of missing out, and knowing that I actually am missing out. It's not even a fear.
Oh yeah.
It's a reality.
It's a certainty. You are missing out. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. How about you, Pat? Had you been before? Had you been?
Yeah, this is our 3rd time.
Yeah, but have you been as just a person coming to
Oh,
that's
no.
in beforehand?
No.
Yeah. Well, what are your thoughts on yeah.
To see familiar friends, running into friends here,
Yeah. Running in here. Got the whole
familiar faces, and hearing music that I wouldn't get a chance to hear otherwise.
Yeah.
Seeing
Yeah, it's amazing, sort of just like the connections, I guess, that you end up making when you're, I mean, in your mind or just with people too. Like you can find all kinds of interesting, just things that you wouldn't have even occurred to you.
But I think the thing that I really love about it, and you were at the first version of the Crossing of the
That's right. Yeah. In LA, yeah.
What happens backstage, and like whether it's the Across the Horizon show or any of the shows, because it's pretty much the same thing, that the people playing in front of you or after you, it's like, oh, I cannot believe I'm hanging out backstage with these folks and just talking. And like last night, at one point at the crux of the
I was
evening,
able to make it.
it was like Hayden and Gwennifer and Chuck and Walt McClements and
Luke is there.
Luke, and everyone's just hanging out, and we're all like looking at us. No, I can't, because we all kind of know each other, but they were all in the same room at the same time.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, it's just sort of incredible. Yeah, especially just walking around.
And we were all like sitting back there listening to Gwennifer and Hayden practice guitar, playing together. It was like, whoa, this is a pretty good show.
Yeah. Was that the first time they played together? Like performed?
Yeah, no, it was quite a. It was,
First time they'd met? I don't know.
No, they never.
They've never met.
I mean, they'd heard each other's music,
Yeah.
but and they were very excited about playing together. But they were sort of trepidatious too, because neither artists are known for quote unquote extemporaneous jamming with somebody else.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Which they did. They actually sat and planned out a whole set of music where they learned each other's songs, which I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, they're good. When
When you're good, I get you.
Well, we have a new guest guess, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jonathan Gregg.
Sus.
I'm in Sus. This is the Sus interview.
This is the Sus interview. You're in the right place.
I thought I recognized these guys.
Yeah. Well, do you guys have anything else that you're like? Well, tell us about what the talk you're doing. Is that today? Tomorrow?
It's today with Liz Pelly, and who wrote Mood Machine.
Yes, incredible book.
And if you haven't read the book, if you're a musician, it's kind of depressing. But
If you're a listener, it's kind of depressing too. Actually,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's, but it
so
is.
her whole thing, it's about how streaming, in specific, Spotify and algorithms has sort of knocked out the community spirit. And I think that that's actually Cab's the guy that runs Figures. That's his main theme this year. Is how community will save the future.
Yeah.
So this podcast is basically how people, Sus and Across the Horizon and a few other people are creating these new communities of artists that are supporting each other and helping people discover music in ways that are anything without.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, music discovery is definitely different. Definitely different than what and so with Liz was like, how are people discovering music? It's not good.
Right. Yeah. I mean, just well, speaking of discovering music, what are you guys most looking forward to seeing now that your performances are done? Is there anybody you aren't gonna miss in the next day and a half?
I decided I'm just gonna go. I think I'm gonna go see Rebo sing at noon.
Yeah.
And I'll want to see what's next door.
Yeah, that's a good philosophy too. That kind of cuts out the stress.
Yeah. Like what can I do?
You're just gonna float. That's a good way to do it. Yeah. Is there anybody you've seen so far that stood out? It's just outside of the Across the Horizon stuff. Is there anybody that's been great? What have you seen?
I really enjoyed Merle Douglas. He's the dynamo.
Yeah.
But it's, I went through, I like to rest before the gigs usually. And, I mean, last time I got to see very little. It just, I didn't want to add to the stress of what we had to do here.
Yeah.
But today there's nothing. So that'll be good. And Mark Rebo sounds good. I haven't consulted the list, but I remember there was at least one or two other things that were possible. But I got to be at the airport at probably 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So it's that.
All right. So this isn't even early for you right now. Yeah.
SML was, I have to say, they we played at the Greyhound after that. Yeah. So we got to see him a lot of the music. And I'd heard a lot about him, but and seen videos and stuff. But I think unless you actually see them, it's truly something.
Yeah, that was my first time seeing them, and I love the records, but I actually feel like the live stuff is. I mean, the records are sort of edited down versions of it, but seeing them build the whole thing was insanely good. It's just remarkable kind of stuff, and just sort of I don't know for that kind of improv music. It also has sort of this very strong emotional resonance to it, which maybe I haven't experienced before.
Yeah, I actually when I saw him, I thought of you guys too.
Oh, Prairie Wolf.
Yeah, I did.
It's very kind of you, but I don't believe you.
No, I because there's just some, it is for all of its extemporaneous. It is structured in a certain way.
Yeah.
Around a certain aspect of music.
Yeah.
It's very tight, a little tight thing, and then around this little tight thing, all of a sudden this whole thing grows, and then
a lot of swirl going on. It's amazing. Well, tell us about the new record, Counting Sunsets. I've heard it. I think it's awesome. I got it in the mail. I'm privileged to hear this since early, but So tell me about the concept behind the record. Is there a concept? It's sus.
There is I don't know if you call it concept, but it was intentionally made differently than the other album.
Okay, how so?
Well, for one, it was the first true album where it was just the three of us.
Right.
And we learned a lot. We went on the road last year with Immersion.
Yes, yeah.
Supporting that collaboration. And we, night after night, the three of us played our catalog. And I think we really found what we liked most about the trio thing. And how sparse we can be and how open we can be. And I don't know, we don't talk about those things. Right? But when we got together, it felt like, oh yeah, we're going to do something spare. We're going to do something more open. We didn't know where it was going to end up, but it became a body of work, unlike any of the other albums we put out in the past. Where just from the beginning, we knew this was a body. We were calling this song the Sunset Side, but we didn't know that we were going to retain those titles. It just became a thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is. I mean, I probably have, in a ham-handed way, described your music as sunset music. But it does. I mean, I feel like it's like the perfect word, the perfect image for you guys. So it is really.
It seemed like we also did it a little more quickly. For the last good stuff that we made for it was really done in a really short span of time. We were all in a room together.
Okay.
When I played my parts, we sort of hand off the things as we build them. But when I did my parts, it was all in a fairly condensed period of time. Bob and Pat were right there, and it seemed like the focused and sort of more continuous sort of thing. It seems to have more of a thread. The last album was much more disjointed, had components that were much older recordings. Not everybody was on every song. It was a little more haphazard. There's some great things in it, but this had much more of a consistent vibe. And it was a very agreeable and warm vibe, I thought. It felt really good. It felt like we were really cutting to the core of what, as a band playing together, even if we don't all sit up and count the points we're going to start playing, right, whatever the next thing's going to be. That sense of continuity and solidarity was really good.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it is excellent. You said coming out in May.
Yeah.
Do you guys have further plans as far as going to take the road?
Yeah, I mean, we'll go home after this for a little while and then go out on the West Coast.
Excellent. Well, yeah, I guess that is true. Yeah. So they do welcomes there.
Well, it's one of the things that has come up in early listens to this album in particular, and there were rumblings of it before, and people are asking, like, when you are a band that is steeped in Americana, what does that mean in this day and age?
Yes. People like this.
And the kind of Americana that we're steeped in, whether it's westerns or country music or whatever, talk about snowboard storms. So it's very interesting to see how European audiences take. We have a lot of European fans, but still, that's
it's a sticky subject at the moment. Even just using that term, I think, is sort of strange.
Which is where the Americana apocalypse came.
Yes, you're going to blow it up.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it works in it. And I saw Butch Hancock and Jimmy Dale Gilmore yesterday at the Point, and they had a song, I believe it's called Borderlands, and the line that just seemed to ring true for big ears in general, but it's between between the dawn and the dream. I think is what he describes it.
There we go.
And I'm like, and it's about Texas, but I mean, obviously, it has, but I just thought that was like a perfect distillation, and you know, I feel like that's kind of what you guys do too, dawn and the dream. It's
Yeah.
like, it's good. I don't know. Yeah, that was sort of coming together, just where things blur together, and you know, one thing or the other, and whatever. And that's feels like what a lot of the music that I'm seeing is at Big Ears. So it's a cool.
Yeah.
Cool situation. So yeah, not to get too poetic. You know, it's okay. But yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Should we
That's great.
get Steven in here?
Thank you guys for hanging out. Guys, everybody, that's Sus here on Aquarium Drunkard Transmissions. And now we're going to bring Stephen Brower up. So just a second while we reset.
Thank you. It's good to see you. I really,
Thank you so much for Oh, dude, nothing to worry about.
Always good to get that in my inbox. We're going to have to Colorado at some point. Good spot.
Take care.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, thanks so much.
Have a good rest of the festival.
Can I sit and listen to you?
Yeah. Get in here.
I'm gonna stick around and listen to.
No, my man. Oh, you can use whichever one.
This one seems vibey.
We got the.
It is kind of cool.
We got the note there on Instagram. Everybody will hold the mic extremely close to their mouth.
Got it.
We had somebody say,
I might not have done that.
hey, Bob says he might have done it. It's okay. Andrew is doing a good job compensating.
Right.
I just want our Instagram friends to know we hear you, we see you, we feel you. We will take your advice into consideration. Stephen Brower, how are you?
Doing all right. Good morning.
How has your Big Ears experience been, man?
My Big Ears has been amazing, mostly with Tyler.
Good to see each other from across the room.
It's been great. I mean, this, as you guys were just talking, I think we talked about it last night. His Name is Alive. Like, it's tough to not. It's the challenge is sort of being in the moment and not being like, okay, if I'm here for 9 minutes and then I have a 8-minute walk to the other thing, I can see 6 minutes of that, and like so versus being like, wait a second, no, I'm watching the Dirty Three, just like be here.
100% be here now, Ram Dass style.
100%. But no, it's been amazing. I think kicked it off with Tyler and I saw. Tyler and I saw Shrunken Elvis.
Yes.
At Farley's and with Rich Ruth and Spencer Cullum and Sean Thompson, and I mean, I'm such a Rich Ruth stan, but like that show was incredible, and just so much great stuff like that. You guys were just talking about like the South Side Ride last night.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that felt like, I mean, it certainly was just like, oh, this is like its own fest, like this is.
A fest within the
fest within a fest is happening, and it's like, it's cool that like the collaborations are happening in those things, and people are getting chances to do things that they wouldn't normally do. So,
I feel exactly that. And like they were talking about, you guys were talking about the Hayden Winifred collaboration, and I felt like, I know this is a Grateful Dead friendly program, so I feel like
It's true.
And
Dead friendly.
Yeah, I was with Bob when he mentioned like seeing them work it out, backstage, and they kind of slipknotted it, like, and that was the part that I was like most leaned in on, because I was like, oh, I know this Hayden song, I know this Winifred song, and like, what is this thing? And
there's
they
something
sort
in
of,
between.
they sort of, and that was like, I was like, I like.
that's good. They slipknotted it. That's good.
Fantastic. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean though. It's hard to be watching something and sort of thinking about the other stuff you could be seeing. I saw Raji yesterday at First Presbyterian, and it was mind-blowing, just beautiful. He's doing, really beautiful piano. At moments, it started to almost go into like ragtime stride piano, and he's doing these incredible, yodel type vocalizations. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is so moving, and you're in this beautiful church, and this feels spiritual and incredible. And I wonder what Jeff Parker's doing right now.
Right,
He's
exactly.
like right over there. Should I go over it? And then he's like, no. Tap in, man. Get in the thing and experience it. But
Jeff Parker was amazing.
That's
So
it.
just so
Yeah,
you know,
well,
it's incredible.
well, if eventually we're going to be able to hive mind, we'll be able to telepathically link up that we can sort of do a kind of by location. I'm sure that that's on the way.
No, totally.
Eventually.
And speaking of Laraji, so I had a panel yesterday that Pat was on, and it was a post-modern exchange. And right before my panel, there was another panel that Laraji was on with Ade Collier, and it was about A Love Supreme, basically.
Yeah.
And so it was a panel, and then I noticed that everyone had instruments, and they sort of went into this spiritual jazz raga, and I was like, my panel's got to follow this, and I got to come up here and just talk. I was like, it was amazing. It was like the perfect sort of morning thing, and I was like, it was like following Jimi Hendrix and Modern Pop or whatever.
Not so easy. So tell us a little bit about what your panel. What were you guys talking about?
Yeah, our panel was called Scoring the Story, and it was about, so I looked at the roster for Big Years, and I noticed a bunch of artists who I love as artists, but I also recognize as composers.
So I sent a list in. I was like, well, here's a bunch of artists that sort of fit in that category. And Big Ears were like, oh, we like that idea. And so it was kind of like Bob was saying about Across the Horizon. Everybody just said yes, that I like immediately. So we had Lucrecia Dalt and Mary Lattimore and Juliana Barwick and Chuck Johnson and Pat, obviously. And we just talked about sort of the different sort of creative modes of scoring for film and television or documentary, and obviously making your sort of artist projects. And we also talked about sort of live scoring as like a third kind of part of the brain in that sort of medium. And it was great. It was a wide-ranging conversation and a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. What else are you doing? You have another panel coming up?
I do not have another panel.
Okay. You're off the clock.
I'm going to see mostly today. I'm excited to get home and see my wife and daughter. I have my daughter's 8 months old today.
Why didn't you bring her? What do you do? I don't understand. It seems like you gotta start bringing these kids.
She's probably watching the stream.
I think they are watching the stream. I think over coffee. My daughter's not having coffee, but no, I'm going to see Bill Orchid and then go to the airport.
Yeah. What is Bill? I mean, what's the venue he's playing? Is he outdoors? What's the deal?
I don't know, but
It's like Regis Square, which I don't think.
So Regis Square is it's an indoor.
It's indoor. Okay.
It's a good space.
Okay.
I saw some stuff there last year, but he's
his new record is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, he
doesn't really miss, but
it's
especially good.
Yeah.
No, I feel like for the last 5 years, he's just been on a complete tear.
Yeah.
And then I think he's playing tomorrow with Orchid Shelley Miller.
Yeah.
And that's such an incredible collaboration. I'm going to miss that, but I was at the show in Los Angeles from which they drew the record.
That Zebulon show.
Yeah, that Zebulon show. So I'm very fortunate to have been there. And I'm hoping to, before I leave, I'm hoping to catch up with Ethan. I know you guys had Kramer and Thurston on yesterday. And, Ethan's putting out that record. Label Silver Current.
Yeah.
And so, it's an embarrassment of riches, as we've all discussed.
It is insane. But it feels like you have to, maybe just get on a plane and go home too.
Yeah.
It's also especially cool. You're talking about Ethan. You're talking about Orcut. All these guys. I mean, I really think for me this festival has solidified what a cool moment we're in, where artists can pull from the noisiest extremes to the sort of most beautiful kind of thing. And like when I listen to Orcut, absolute meeting point between sort of like brutality and intensity, but also just really pretty sometimes, so shockingly pretty, and sometimes within the sort of sonic violence. And I feel like there's a cool moment where artists like Sus are pulling from a broad variety of genres. And everybody seems so free. Nobody seems stuck in a box the way maybe nobody ever has in the really creative, music zone, but it feels like right now there's a lot of cross-pollination, and that the audiences are very hungry for that sort of thing. It's exciting to kind of experience that. And so, I mean, with your work in music, I mean, you've seen sort of those genre lines sort of dissolve in a certain sense, right?
Sure. Yeah. No, absolutely. And one thing, so at Amazon Music, I program a playlist called Cosmic Strings, and one of the reasons I started the playlist in 2020, and it was sort of because I was listening to a lot of ambient music and I was listening to a lot of guitar music, and then I was noticing there was this sort of space in between, and at Amazon Music I was like, oh, I think this is its own thing, and it sort of draws from that cross-pollination in a very kind of specific way, and then you sort of go down the rabbit hole and you see that, you know, this artist is playing with this artist, or like, you know, Prairie Wolf leads to Golden Brown leads to, you know, and you just sort of follow the paths, and that has been, just for me as a music fan, a very enriching experience to kind of sort of expand my palette, and it's led me to things that I didn't even know I would sort of be interesting in, that have now. And I've been aware of Bill Orcutt, for instance, for a long time, his long career, but it sort of brought me back to him through that door. He put out an acoustic record, Jump On It, a couple years ago. And then right before the music, or right around the Music for Four Guitars, and then I don't know. It's just sort of, I think again, he is the perfect sort of midpoint in a lot of what we're talking about. But
incredible beard too. I was talking to I was like, there's got to be some sort of beard off at Big Ears here. It's big beards. But I do think that Warren Ellis probably wins the big beard. I mean, Doug McCombs from Basic also has a very impressive beard.
We were both at the Basic show too.
Basic show was incredible.
I was there. You might not have seen me as a shorter stature guy. I was back at the very back, so I had to ask a taller friend, is Doug playing a bass six? And he goes, yeah, he's playing a 6-string bass. And I was like, okay, cool. Thank you. From your vantage point up there.
Yeah, Barley's next year could maybe use some bleachers of some kind, something
stools,
like that.
high chairs for some of us.
That is also, I've seen great stuff there, and I did see someone yesterday. I was walking in, and a friend was walking out, and they were like, this is like seeing guitar music in a Buffalo Wild Wings, and it's this kind of incredible experience. And
I kind of liked the Miller Lite mural.
I actually did too.
It's like the champagne of light beers. It isn't really light beer music, but it's okay.
Yeah,
maybe it is light beer music.
I love that juxtaposition of sort of just like whatever, towny bar kind of thing.
Oh, totally.
and Basic doing amazing angular jam stuff. I mean, it was fantastic. That was a great show. We saw each other briefly last night at His Name Is Alive, right next door.
Yeah, how was it? I actually didn't get to it.
Really good.
It was good.
Really good. That's a band that there's a million ways that they can sound.
Right. Yeah.
But they were in guitar rock mode for this set. Okay. For the most part. It was all guitar rock. It was really good. That was a great thing. So
that's awesome.
Were you at the Dirty Three part of the set when Warren Ellis told the really long story about going to Portland, Maine instead of Portland, Oregon?
He booked a hotel room in Portland, Maine, or maybe the other way around. And an epic. He was like, I was on heroin then. Some sort of like long thing. But and then he was raising people's pets from the dead. He brought back maybe Sinead O'Connor and Sid Vicious. He was at some point he was leading a sing along. Everybody was, we were raising the dead.
A sort of seance type situation.
It was a seance. He's a shaman of some kind, I guess. Man. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah. But I do think he wins the beard off.
Yeah,
he wins the beard off.
I'm just gonna call it, I guess. Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
More awards for Warren Ellis.
Well, that's awesome. So obviously you're taking off today.
Yep.
Previous days of the festival, Thursday, Friday, did you see anything that really flipped your lid?
Yes, I did. Let me just think through. I mean, obviously, we talked about the Shrunken Elvis that I love. Basic was great. I saw. I saw the very first thing I saw was the Wild Up.
Julia Eastman.
Eastman.
We've heard a lot about that one.
And with Patrick Shiroshi joining them, and that was sort of like. And this is what I think when I posted on Instagram, it was like an ecstatic start to the festival.
It's so
that
cool.
was, and then I saw I ended that was at the Bijou, and then I ended the first night back at the Bijou for Rebo's Shrek, which was also awesome. And it's sort of like I think you mentioned about Dirty Three, like seeing pretty aggressive music in like a sort of historic theater, and people sort of rapt attention. It is just sort of fascinating to see.
Yeah, you're sort of like this is what life should be like.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you said yesterday, Tyler, you were like, we know Big Ears is not the real world,
Yes,
but
yeah,
that's sort of how it felt. But yeah, no, I saw that Shrek performance too, and the double drummers were unreal. And Mary Halverson is just like, I'm sure that there's a million potential awards that could be handed out for, sort of most valuable player, but it seems like she's just everywhere at this festival, working in different, collaborations. And man,
MacArthur genius, Mary Halverson.
Exactly. And Chris Thiele is here today. He's also a MacArthur genius.
There you go.
A lot of geniuses here.
I think, we're trying to get one of those for our podcast.
Yeah,
too.
please.
See if we can't
It's coming in.
get some big designations.
I would say the other highlight. It's weird to say I have a Big Ears highlight that's not a Big Ears highlight, but last night I had dinner coincidentally with one of my closest childhood friends who happened to be in Knoxville.
Nice.
And my very first trips to Knoxville, 25 plus years ago, were with him to see a great Knoxville band called the V-Roys several times here in town. So he was in town unrelated to Big Ears, and we got to see him. I don't get to see him much. And so that was like another sort of life highlight.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like there. I mean, I'm out from Phoenix, and I ran into some other Phoenicians, and like seeing them here, like you said, it's like this is not part of the festival, but you see somebody and you're like, hey, whoa, we're both here. Isn't that cool? So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, where did you guys have dinner, and was it good?
The dinner, we had dinner at the so the Tennessean Hotel is connected to the Marriott Hotel, and I don't know in which hotel restaurant we were in.
You were in one of those.
One of those.
Okay.
And the dinner was good, and they had a very extensive sort of craft beer selection, and I had I think they were like, well, we have 2 Dunkels, and we each had one of the Dunkels, and I think we each liked our Dunkel. So.
Yeah. That is that's the other challenge. Eating food is something that's necessary.
Yeah, you got to remember
in
to do
Big
that.
Ears. You got to hydrate. You got to eat food.
It's very, very easy to space on it.
Yes.
And then it hits you, and then you realize I have to not space
Batteries
on
are
batteries are running
At
low.
Barley's, they just hand you a cheese.
Yeah. That's
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
so,
The pizza is right there, and it's decent. Yeah.
Get a Miller and a slice
Miller,
of pizza,
a
and you're
champagne of beers,
and,
a champagne
and
of
you're
pizzas.
off. And you're off. Well, that's awesome. Any future projects that we should touch on?
People should check out the Cosmic Strings.
The Cosmic Strings playlist is fantastic.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, that. So yes, I would say like Cosmic Strings, amazing to get to work on that, and so I put a lot of time into that, and then I also program one. It's not sort of core part of my job at Amazon Music, but I also do another playlist called Moon Tower, which is sort of in the kind of the fussed MJ Linderman Wednesday extended cinematic universe. Sort of was the germ of that sort of indie rock that has sort of roots in Americana.
What is that one called again?
Moon Tower.
Moon Tower. Okay.
Sort of just an off the dome days.
Well, yeah, because I was going to say, I was like, I know exactly the type of music you're talking about, but I have yet to hear like a name for it. That maybe I've heard names and I'm like, that's not good. But
maybe it's just Moon Tower Court. No,
I think it's wild to see bands like Wednesday, MJ Lenderman coming up, pulling from Songs of Haya, like this stuff where it's like
these young people.
And like specifically like Wednesday, where there will be a moment where it's like, this is as if Jason Molina joined Weezer. This is not a thing I had ever imagined, and it totally feels natural,
100%
in that way that these sorts of fusions start to as we get older and younger people
and like so
come
Wednesday. I first became aware of them. There was a covers record a few years ago called "Mowing the Leaves" instead of picking them up, and that was like, "Who? This band is covering the Drive-By Truckers and Gary Stewart, and they're like a rock band, and they're from North Carolina, and I'm from
they're
North
like
Carolina,
20 years old.
Yeah, and then I was like, so I got really into that EP, and then I'm from very close in North Carolina to where Carly is from. And so when I listen to Wednesday, I agree with the aesthetic description, everything you just said, and I'm like, these songs are about like the water park that I went to growing up. Like, they
Yeah,
really
you have like
hit me in
you
a
have
certain way.
specific
Yeah,
specific
it's like
reference
that's
points.
the way people I went to high school with would describe that thing,
Yeah.
but in the most sort of poetic, evocative way. So but yes, that whole scene, if you want to call it a scene, I'm very glad to see it happen, and to see a Jason Molina, a Drive By Truckers, become an influence for another generation who's bringing their own kind of perspective to it.
It's awesome. Yeah. Is that cover EP? Does that also have that Smashing Pumpkins cover on it? Perfect. They do a really good version of Perfect that is just like so shoegazy.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe drumless, but it's really cool. Anyway,
Yeah.
amazing band. So 2 playlists to check out.
Yeah, check them out.
People, and you update those
Frequently, weekly-ish.
I imagine that this is just your full-time job, but I know you do other things as well.
Yes, yes.
You don't just playlist for 40 hours a week.
Right, yeah. So, yeah,
The dream.
I get to work on a lot of fun stuff for Amazon Music, and
Very cool.
and that is and those 2 playlists are a bit of a creative outlet.
Yeah,
I would say.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Sure.
Awesome.
Well, dude, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for waking up
appreciate it.
early.
Thanks for waking up early.
Man, this is-
Hopefully you enjoyed your coffee here at Old City.
The coffee
Java.
is really good here. They also have like I'm eyeing a cheddar chive biscuit over there. I think maybe.
Yeah, the pastries are excellent. I had some sort of pistachio croissant thing that was I kind of was like, I'll just take that. And then when I was eating it, I was like, oh, this is so good.
We're not contractually obligated to praise or plug the food and beverage here, but it's very good.
Everybody get down to
Yeah.
Old City.
Yeah, Old City Java.
Well,
It
thank
is.
you for
Yeah,
hanging
good
out, and
spot.
happy birthday to your daughter.
Oh,
and,
thank you.
And thanks
Yeah.
for doing all that you do and all the awesome support and creative endeavors, because we need
likewise.
people like you to help get music out into the world and in front of people.
Oh,
and it
likewise.
makes a big difference.
And like you and like Bob
these
and these guys
guys.
over here. I mean, yeah,
Like Andrew.
We're and no, that's a part of just that to say that it's been great. It's sort of like gangs all here. I like running into everyone here and being like, yeah, we're all sort of in our own little ways, whether that's performing, having media outlets, whatever, sort of waving the flag. I mean, Bob and I actually talked about this a lot on the Across the Horizon show when I've been a guest on, just sort of like the fellow travelers are important, and I do feel like this festival really is like, oh yeah, this works. We're all sort of making it happen. So
Yeah, I've loved at Big Ears that it does feel, it's like the audience is driving thing. There's a real feeling of like the crowd is as part of this. It's less about just like seeing bands.
Right.
It's like there's
totally.
stuff going on in the crowds too. So
Awesome. Well,
Oh,
thanks
good.
for having
Awesome.
me, guys.
Thank you, man.
All
Thanks for
right.
popping in.
safe travels,
Yeah, thank
please.
you.
All right. Well,
All right.
chilling. I think it's just me and you for now. Uh-oh.
What are we gonna talk about?
Well, so we already talked about, you've talked about the Dirty Three. I'd love to hear what else you saw yesterday that was really...
Before that, I saw. I went to the Terry Allen show, which was incredible. It was at the Knoxville Civic Auditorium, so it's sort of like a bigger situation. I mean, it's like Dylan is playing there.
I saw the Rough and Rowdy Ways.
Yeah, Rough and Rowdy Ways, a couple weeks from now.
I saw the ad for it driving
Actually,
by.
it was funny because Terry Allen's guitar player is none other than Charlie Sexton.
Oh,
And he played with Dylan for
quite a while, right?
I mean, he was on and off, but I mean, he probably has logged, I'm going to say, like 200, 300 shows with Bob Dylan, maybe more than that even. Bob Dylan plays a lot of shows, but it was great. It was cool to see that. And I mean, it was Terry and his wife and his sort of family band. He had his sons in the band, accordion and percussion, and it sort of had a cool, guys.
Thanks, guys,
Us.
so much. Yeah, we
Thank you so much for
appreciate
coming by. Hopefully see you on the streets.
it. Hey, thank you so much for doing it.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. And
Pat, super good seeing you, man. Thank you.
thank you. We'll see you out there. But yeah, no, Terry was, I had never gotten a chance to see him, and it was cool. It's like, it is sort of, it's a mix of like almost a theatrical thing going on where they do readings from various writings that Terry's done. His wife is there to sort of add running commentary, which is good too.
Cool.
So that was awesome. The other person I saw was the Tyrek Clerkin trio.
Oh yeah, you and Chad were at that, right?
Chad was there. He was the one who was like you got to go to this. A couple people I was not familiar at all with. I think I'd heard the name, but
Yeah.
It was awesome.
What's the sound?
The sound is hard to describe. I would say that it was a trio, and someone doing electronics and keyboards, someone on drums, and then Tyra Clerkin, who was singing and doing sort of treatments. I would say that it leans, and it maybe kind of. I mean, we were just listening to on the stereo here, but there's like a broadcast kind of feeling to it. There's definitely sort of almost like vintage trip hop, but with like a jazzier drummer. I don't know. It was very cool. I would actually say. I mean, having said that, probably doesn't sound incredibly enticing. Although
I mean, I don't know. I'm a trip hop head.
But it
I
was very cool, and I am maybe still putting together how I would describe it. But
that's awesome.
Worth checking out for sure.
Very cool.
Very cool. What about you? What did you see?
Yesterday was pretty packed.
Yeah.
I feel like it seemed it.
I mean, we see Laraji, obviously.
Laraji was really fantastic, and Laraji's been on the podcast. I've interviewed him for Aquarium Drunkard. I'm definitely interested in that intersection between devotional spirituality and music.
Yeah.
And seeing him in this beautiful church playing, just straight up piano. Like it wasn't there were no big effects.
It wasn't.
No, almost maybe no effects actually, and it was just really, it was really open, and he was doing the moon piano style stuff because he's got those 2 records. But I was really taken back by the gospel qualities.
Yeah, that came through.
And in that setting, of course, maybe I'm more apt to
in that venue. There is like
to tap in on those.
A large Jesus Christ.
There's quite a large Jesus painting behind him, but it was really, really cool. And then for him, he's doing like the Om Shanti kind of chant, and it was just like I felt like I was in a very ecumenical zone where it was like this is all sort of
holy music.
It's all holy music, and it's all sort of aiming for the same thing, And so that was really beautiful. I saw 2 Zorn performances.
Yes. We were both at the first Masada, right?
Masada. Yeah. So that was my first time seeing any Zorn live.
Yeah. Same here.
And it was nuts. It's so good.
It was, yeah. Well, I mean, it was the Masada quartet, and it was noon, so it was sort of like the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
And you're like maybe it'll kind of like ease into things. So they came out and sort of like went to 125 miles an hour
100%
in a sports car immediately.
And it was really fun to watch Zorn both conduct, which he was doing, and perform, and then sort of goading the band members, in that
into
classic
superhuman
jazz
feats of like drumming and bass playing.
If you're not a drum solo fan, the show might have tested your patience a touch.
They were, that was Joey Barron. I mean, he's unbelievable.
And I found it to be deeply like not drum solo-y vibes, but like it was a drum solo, but it was so musical, so lyrical, even so
incredibly creative.
That was cool
stuff. And Greg Cohen, the double bass player, also was goaded into long flights of fancy, and it was just like
so good. Every
incredible.
Time they locked into a kind of groove, because it happens and then it breaks up and then it comes back. And it breaks. I was really blown away by that performance. And then I caught Zorn plays the music, plays Harry Smith, which I was confused at first. Thurston explained it to us yesterday that he was that Zorn and band would be performing to the films of Harry Smith. And honestly, seeing the films on a big screen in the Bijou Theater might have been enough for me to have said it was awesome.
Yeah.
But then you had Zorn and Ikowe Mori and like a group completely in the dark soundtracking these films, and it was awesome. It was really, really cool. Also quite mystical and occult, and spiritual in that way. But I really enjoyed that. Caught a little of Steve Bernstein's band doing Sly Stone.
That
ruled.
Yeah.
His Name Is Alive ruled. I caught Blake Mills and Pino Palladino and Sam Gendel at Mill and Mine.
Nice.
And I stuck around for a fair amount of that. That was an interesting one because you're in that zone where it's like a big standing venue.
Yeah,
very
it's one of the
rock
biggest,
club.
Ones out here.
And they were doing very distill, quiet, placid ECM kind of things. It was awesome. I mean, just to hear Pino Palladino play bass is a treat.
Yeah.
But I found myself a little bit like at odds with the structure of it.
Yeah.
Through no one's fault, obviously. This is definitely not a dig or anything.
Yeah,
but it's like one of those things where it was like, maybe I would prefer to be seated for this.
Yeah. Because I was at Mill and Mine later in the day. You mentioned the Jeff Parker show, which is his expansion trio. I was like, this festival, should we just call it 6 Degrees of Jeff Parker? Is that how we should do this? We could probably play that game, but so he was playing with the expansion trio, which is Jeremiah Chu, who's also an SML, and has some great records on International Anthem. And the drummer, whose name is escaping me at the moment, Marquise, what is the name? Something like that. But it was a trio, but they sounded great, but it was the same kind of thing where maybe some of the subtleties when things went to a little more. Yeah, it was like, oh, there's like a bar behind me now.
I mean, that's
and
just,
it is the middle of the afternoon.
That's the thing, right? I saw Deerhoof at Mill and Mine the first night, and it was like the perfect setting for Deerhoof.
Right.
You can't drown Deerhoof out, with bar noise because Deerhoof is very loud. Yeah. But yeah, no, so those were some of the highlights. I mean, I know I saw other stuff, and I don't know why.
One thing you mentioned, I mean, you're talking about like sort of cross-pollination, but one thing that's been cool, a thread that's been coming together for me is just like a lot of the drummers who are playing against sort of more electronic things. Like, I mean, Jeremiah Chu is doing modular synth stuff in SML, but he's playing with Booker Star Drum and setting rhythms, playing with rhythms. They're playing off each other. And it's very cool to see sort of like this, I don't know, just coming together of rhythmic sensibilities that's like the very electronic thing, but then somebody coming from a jazz or post-rock or even rock kind of situation. It's just been exciting. I'm always kind of like, and basic as well. I mean, Michael Patrick was just like incredible to see him, because there's stuff that I'd listen to on the record where I was like, oh, that's a programmed beat.
Right.
And some of it was programmed, some of it wasn't, but I was usually wrong about what was programmed.
Versus what was live.
I was like, oh, no, he's doing that, and he is holding it down completely.
I mean, I thought that was a fantastic set, too.
It was cool. It was very nice.
Forsyth is such a cool guitarist. And
he may stop by later. I don't know. I was convincing. I was trying to convince him.
Knock on wood. I would love to get him in here. But what you're saying, I think the rhythm thing is one of the more interesting facets, because traditional ambient, tends to generally be pretty rhythmless. And to the point that I had a friend once who said it can't be new age if there's drums, and I was like, but maybe that's true. I like that people are like, okay, then fine, it's not new age. It's
new
whatever
age
this
does not have rhythm.
But the rhythmic aspects really do come across and carry through electronic, jazz, even like you said, post-rocky type stuff. But like basic is, in a weird way, almost all rhythm.
Yes.
They're
all playing rhythm.
They're all playing rhythm things.
Yeah.
Even when Forsyth is sort of riffing and doing
solo.
stuff.
I think he'd agree probably. There would be like
hyper locked in and hyper referential to that great Robert Quine and
Fred Mayer.
Yeah. The record Basic. Yeah. Which of course Forsyth hipped me to.
Oh yeah. No,
he sent me that and Ribot and Ikoue Painted Desert,
which is on Zorn's label too. So it's like
he sent me both of those, and it's like you said, it all comes together. It's like it all feels.
Yeah.
And that's actually maybe one of the coolest things about this festival too, is the innumerable threads that connect
connections all the time.
artists, across at this point now decades.
It's all
Painted
Jeff
Desert
Parker,
is
though.
it's all Jeff Parker.
It comes down to Jeff
It's all
Parker.
Jeff Parker, who I've seen. I have not seen him perform at
Just in
Big
the
Ears yet,
streets.
but I just see him. I'm always passing Jeff,
There he
and I'm
is.
like,
There's Jeff. He's not here. He's not here yet. What about you, Andrew? What did you see yesterday that stood out?
Yeah, me and Jason kind of hung together for most of the time. We were pretty in sync, but I just have to be a broken record. So His Name Is Alive has been one of my favorite bands since I was 16.
Yeah.
And I woke
up. And you didn't think that you were going to, not a band that you're like, oh, I'll see them someday, probably.
Yeah. Well, I woke up and it's 30 years later, and they've been one of my favorite bands. And I've seen them. I lived in Chicago for a long time. They got to Chicago pretty frequently.
Yeah.
Last night was the best HNIA show I've ever seen. It was
nice.
So incredible.
Yeah.
And it was probably the smallest lineup. It was they were as a trio, and they were playing mostly constricted to the first couple records because there's those reissues coming out.
4AD is reissuing all those.
And even within those constraints, best show I've ever seen them do. Warren was on fire. Like Jason said, he did everything from the very light touch, kind of early 4AD guitar to just Thin Lizzy level shredding, where he was both guitarists. Like
he was.
time.
It did seem like there were multiple guitarists on stage, and there were not.
Yeah, and man, I am just still kind of in awe from that show because I love that band so much.
Yeah.
But also Zorn. I mean, I've been, Zorn is one of my kind of favorite dudes in everything that orbits around Zadig Records, for decades. And so I went into that Harry Smith, I think thinking they were going to be playing some sort of warped Americana. Same deal. I went right to the anthology of folk music.
Zorn on fiddle.
Zorn, yeah, exactly. And instead it was, these profoundly fascinating films, and then darkness, and it's like we saw them walk out, we saw them walk off, and everything else was mystery. And that was just kind of beautiful. And
that's awesome.
Those are my it's like, man, like I said, if I had to go home right now, I'm already full.
Oh my God,
I will say, I want to go back to His Name Is Alive for 1 second, because one of the most innovative solutions I've ever seen to for musicians, especially artists who are His Name Is Alive are a long-running, long-respected, and cherished sort of indie institution, but not burning up the charts, probably not generating millions and millions of dollars for Warren.
Right.
So, they're performing with 3 people, no bass player on stage, but the sound guy
was he?
Had a keyboard and was doing bass synth
pads
while they're performing. I might
mixing.
And mixing. I might not. Maybe I'm not supposed to say this. Maybe this is a secret. But here
awesome.
we are.
Give the guy credit.
It was awesome because I was like, he's back there, absolutely keeping time on this bass synth while Warren's doing these freaky, Neil Young. I mean, there were moments where he's barely touching the guitar, and the room is vibrating. Nice. There were banjos hung up on the wall, and they started ringing in key.
They started sympathetically resonating.
Wild. It was wild. Talk about cosmic strings, And it was just like, man, his guitar sound. I mean, Neil Young would have been like, "Yo, bro, like that's
what pedal is that?"
I seriously wonder. I was again a little too far back to do the dorky take a picture of the pedal board move, but I mean I thought about it. So
you gotta do that. Yeah, that probably should just be like, they should hand out a card in the front, tech specs, where it's just like here, before you ask, here's all the
how many people have had I'm sure every musician's had somebody go up and go, how were you making that one sound?
What kind of pedal you using, man? What's up?
But yeah, so how about today? What's on your
That is a great question. Gosh, I was definitely the Orcut that we were mentioning. I would love to see him do his solo, I assume solo electric. Who knows? He can do whatever. I want to see Winged Wheel, who are playing later at
kind
Barley's.
of a super group for those
kind
that
of a
are
super
unfamiliar.
Group. Yeah. It features Steve Shelley from Sonic Youth, Matt Rowland, who plays in a bunch of different bands, Fred Thomas, people from Water Damage, Whitney Johnson. Have you heard Whitney Johnson's new record?
I haven't.
She's in a group that just put out a record on International Anthem. Maybe it's not out yet, but it's a lot of drones and vocals. It's beautiful. It's really good.
Way cool.
I believe it's called Body Talk. It's something along those lines. But it is it's wonderful. So yeah, it is definitely a super group. I was having a discussion with someone. Would you guys say winged wheel or winged wheel? If they stop by today, which they may do, we can maybe get the scoop.
2 syllables.
Winged.
No, well, so 2 total. Winged
wheel.
is
Yeah,
what my
that's
brain
how I
says.
would say it, but someone else said winged wheel, and I was like, maybe I'm saying it wrong.
It's a little Old Testament.
I say winged feels very very OT.
That's Ezekiel, right? There was a winged wheel within a wheel.
Yeah, with a bunch of eyes on it.
Yeah.
No, they're awesome. I think I've got Plant tickets tonight. I've got a ticket to see Plant, so I'm looking forward to seeing.
I think I walked by them loading Robert
Really?
Plant's gear into the Tennessee.
That
He was out there, just hauling. He wasn't.
No.
He wasn't out there.
I think that
Robert Plant,
I think they're flying him in on a jet.
Yeah,
it's going to land on top of the Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessean. He gets out, plays the show, and then it goes back up to the plane and takes off.
He ascends.
I've never seen Plant live in any formation.
Yeah.
Obviously, too young to have caught Led Zeppelin in their prime.
Yeah.
But I watched that Becoming Led Zeppelin doc on Netflix, and I was struck by it being a pretty interesting music doc in its complete lack of talking heads minus the principles of Led Zeppelin, the guys who are still with us. And so I thought that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little burned out on the, the talking head, this band's
like
really
that's
important.
Sort of moving away. Only people who like the Velvet Underground doc it didn't just have band members, but only people who were there.
Yeah, exactly. But this doc reminded me of that Velvet Underground doc because it was a lot of, there was more footage of Led Zeppelin performing in it than I even realized existed.
Right.
And it was mind blowing. Plant's voice sounds so nuts, when he's young, and that it's matured and grown into this thing that is still very, very powerful.
Yeah, he takes care of it. I don't know about his herbal tea intake or what.
It must be something like that.
He's got a good voice. I don't know if he can still hit the exact high notes, but he's hitting the notes.
And he seems tapped in a way. Like I remember when those records with Alison Krauss first started kind of coming out, and him covering low and stuff. I remember being like, "Whoa, he's into."
What is he? He does the Great Destroyer.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's incredible. And so again, the connection here. I think Sparhawk Alan is playing this festival.
Oh,
too.
That's right. Yeah.
This festival's so good that I forget people like Alan Sparhawk and Richard Thompson are playing.
I was gonna say
Richard. It's like
I was looking today and I was like,
Richard Thompson.
Richard Thompson is playing.
One of the all-time greats.
Yeah. He's at the Tennessee. He's earlier at the Tennessee before Plant. Is that right?
I think I really want to try to catch.
I definitely need to see some of it. I gotta dip in to see Richard. He's another guy who, I'm going to say probably 75-ish at this point. Insanely limber. The last time I saw him, which was maybe a little over a year ago, he was leaping through the air to finish songs. It was sort of like you felt, like his energy level. You were like, if I can make it to 50 and feel that way, I will be a success.
I will say that this festival probably a pretty good case study for
yes, music keeping you young.
Because
Laraji is 80 probably.
There are a lot.
He looks like he's
Laraji. The laughter meditation yields dividends, I suppose, because he looks so healthy. But just in general, there are a lot of performers who are at advanced age at this festival and are so tapped in. He's not here, but I keep thinking about Marshall Allen being 101 and he's still he's not
hitting it.
he's not just playing.
Yeah.
He's like playing crazy.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
He's and so I really feel like there's something to that. And
Yeah, you heard it here first. Big ears keeps you young.
big ears keeps you young. Maybe it's all the walking around that probably
That too.
helps.
That
it's
is-
not bad.
That
you
is a
know?
good thing. No, I do really like it. It's a good point. I love the sort of multi-generational aspect of it, whether it's the crowds or
And the crowds, that's the other
or
thing
the,
too. You
um,
see every age represented
Yeah.
at a lot of these shows.
Yeah.
Not a ton of very, very young adults, but I've
No,
seen
no.
some children
Oh yeah, there's
who
definitely
seem to be having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I overheard a young family with probably a 5-year-old or something, and they were sort of like, well, what do you want to go see next? And it was like,
awesome.
it was like, all right, what does this
Get
kid
them
want to see
started.
next?
Get them started on the avant-garde
Yeah.
when they're young.
Yeah.
I
She was
also-
Zorn.
I want to.
Zorn. Shrek 2.
I yesterday when I was waiting for a in the beer line at His Name Is Alive, I ended up talking with some locals. These two guys who were a little older, but not not crazy old, but they were local dudes, and they were asking me a little bit about my impressions. What should we be checking out? Blah blah blah. And I was like, hey, are you guys Knoxville people? And they
Yeah.
were like, yeah, we're both Knoxville people. And this is our first time ever attending this festival.
Yeah.
I was like, no kidding.
Yeah.
And I was like, it seems like it takes over your whole city. And they said, yeah. It basically does. But for whatever reason, they had never gone. Neither of these guys. And it was awesome. The guy told me, he goes, yeah, I actually didn't know any of the artists at all. He's like, I didn't really know anything except for Dom Flemons. He knew Dom Flemons. So he went to that show.
Yeah.
But then he was like, other than that, I've just sort of been just like wandering into things that I have no idea what they are.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's been really cool. And I was like, that to me is awesome. One,
Yeah.
that the festival has been going on as long as it has. And there's people still coming new to it. I mean, like us, But then beyond that, that they're locals and that this is their town, and they're just like,
It'd
I'm
be
just going to go
something.
start wandering around
Yeah.
and see what I see. This is a crazy festival to do that at.
Yes, yeah, it is. It would be nuts to have this happen every year in your hometown. And yeah, I can see. But I mean, I can also see being like, what's going on? What's happening in that bar? So I don't know.
I told him to check out Tim Heidecker, and he was like, "What's his deal?" And I was like, "He's like a writer, director, actor, comedian." And he was like, "Oh, comedian, so he's doing comedy." And I was like, "He might just be playing songs,
Yeah.
but Neil Hamburger's there too, so I think
Yeah.
someone's gonna do some jokes."
Neil Hamburger's gonna sabotage things.
Man, if imagine having a random Neil Hamburger sighting. Actually, I think when he's in his
In the house.
Greg Turkington mode,
Oh,
he looks like a normal guy.
might be,
You might not know.
might be in
this.
disguise. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't do the
Yeah.
the sort of the whole Neil shtick. But,
Yeah.
well, before we continue on, should we consult a list? I don't see.
Yeah.
I think
No,
we
I
have
don't.
any guests that we need to bring on.
Not at the moment.
And I'm happy just wrapping.
Check the-
Cool. Give it a shot.
over there.
Let's
Yeah,
show
I don't see anybody lurking yet. So.
no lurkers, but we really started to pick up yesterday. Yeah. Horton, they can't see you on the stream, but they're able to hear you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to acknowledge that, because earlier when Tyler asked you a question, you started talking. I worried people might have been a little confused. Who's talking? But here we are.
Yeah. I'll come around and say hi in a second. I want to give a shout out to Eva Horton, my 8.5-year-old who's watching.
She's watching the
She's
stream?
watching on YouTube. Yeah. And
Hi, Eva.
I got a text that Eva, her dad, and was really excited.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
I'm going to pop around and say hi for a second while
Yeah,
we're
do it.
changing over.
We're chilling. We're chilling here at Big Ears. We're Big Ears, and here's Andrew. It's in the mix.
It's weird after. Do I have this all muted? Is this muted? Let's see. I don't know if this one's on.
Need to
How about
pot it
now?
up.
How about now? There he is. There he is.
All right, here we go. See,
Yeah,
Andrew.
let's hang for a few.
Andrew has been writing the faders. He's been taking care of stuff. He's been the guy who's responsible for making sure you hear the artist when they have the microphone this far away.
Yeah,
people get on the mic and have a tendency to kind of start doing this. Like, well, I think that if there's one thing I wanted to convey to the audience,
I was.
and so
We
it's
were
all love, but we do our best to keep people.
We were talking about
on
that.
track.
We were talking about that yesterday when we were fortunate enough to have Thurston Moore and Kramer pop in, and these dudes are amazing, and they're talking, and there were moments where Kramer had the mic rather far from his face.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is the guy who has produced some of the greatest records of all time,
and some of the quietest voices. So
and some of the quietest voices.
Low Galaxy 500. He knows how to record a bee humming.
Of course. Yeah.
He knows how to record a bee humming in the air.
Yeah.
And then yet.
Yeah.
We love you, Kramer, and yet there he goes. Like,
he was awesome.
So
and Shimmy Disc, his label, super cool and supportive. They're posting photos of them on the podcast, and so it's very, very cool. And Matt's in the coffee.
Awesome.
Cool. Oh, we gotta get Chad in on this.
We appreciate everyone that's been hanging with us, and this has already been awesome. We're gonna be here tomorrow as well, right? So tomorrow morning, 9 to 11.
Tomorrow morning, 9 to 11.
We'll be here in some sort of fighting shape.
Well, yeah. It's kind of crazy to think that it's already been. I mean, Thursday was a travel day for most of us, but we managed to get stuff in that night too.
Yeah.
And so Thursday, Friday, already amazing. Saturday, and then tomorrow will be our final day. So we got Matt, I think maybe. Oh. You know what? Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to eat on stream. No, you're good. You're good.
You're good. You can have your. We've got we've already shouted out the pastries here. They are really good. Everything about the spot has been good.
We're at Old City
Java.
I keep wanting to say Old City Coffee. Old City Java in Knoxville, and they've been super awesome letting us set up here, and they have delicious stuff.
Everything's been good.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on the yogurt. I'm doing these yogurt parfaits.
A nice little yogurt parfait. Yeah.
Trying to get the gut biome well situated.
But yeah, absolutely. We were talking because we talk about how stacked the lineup is at Big Ears, and it's like you're making a choice. Sometimes it's like it's always Jeff Parker, no matter what. So it's like, do I see Jeff Parker? Do I see Zorn? Or do I eat? And it's it's tough. A lot of protein bars on the run.
Cool.
All right. Yeah.
I'm okay. Thank you.
Yeah. For today, I'm really hyped on to see Winged Wheel.
Yep.
Back to Winged Wheel, not Wing It, but Winged Wheel.
Winged Wheel, and you are a longtime fan, specifically of Fred from Winged Wheel.
Fan and friend of Fred Thomas. Yeah, I've released one of Fred Thomas's records on my label, Good Glass Records. So check out Good Glass Records on all your socials and stuff if you want. And I think Fred's a genius. So when I saw Winged Wheel with Steve Shelley, and just when I saw it all come together, I think Supergroup is absolutely.
And he also has played in His Name Is Alive, right?
Yeah, around the 98 Fort Lake era. I know he at least did a tour. He might be on the record, but yeah, and then the brilliant Saturday Looks Good to Me, right?
Saturday Looks Good to Me, which my old band opened for in Phoenix in maybe 2007. Nice. Incredible, great band.
Killer band, yeah.
Fred is awesome. Fred, in addition to being an incredible musician, very good writer about music.
Yeah.
He's a ton of all music stuff,
yeah, he's all
right?
over all music.
Yeah, and one of the great resources. All music.
Truly one of these guys like us. Right? It's like say journeyman, right, or fellow traveler. So you just kind of do everything and get involved in everything you can. And someone once was like, Fred's the Forrest Gump of indie rock, and I was like, there has to be a nicer way to phrase that. I said maybe the Zelig. I don't know.
The Zelig of indie rock might land a little better than the Forrest Gump of indie rock.
There's a kinder way, yeah.
As long as somebody's not like the Lieutenant Dan of indie rock.
What we had yesterday, one of our questions on stream was, who is the Evander Holyfield of music? So who's the Lieutenant Dan of?
I don't know who the Lieutenant Dan is.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Well, Gary Sinise has his own band, so maybe Gary Sinise is also the lead, and not indie rock.
That's Danception. Yeah, he's
I think they're blues rock. If anybody in the chat is a big fan of Gary Sinise's band, let us know what style of music they do. The actors playing indie rock thing is, Michael Shannon's kind of the king of that right now with his REM tribute.
Jason
Narducci, awesome crew. Not here at Big Ears this year, but
Narducci.
I've always said Narducci.
I think it's Narducci. Yeah.
Again, if anybody in the chat knows, but yeah,
we have a John Zorn Cobra at noon today.
Yeah, we're finishing up this stream about 11, and immediately gonna have to just like pack up and beeline over there. That'll be my third Zorn of this festival. Nice. It's a very Zorn heavy fest for me.
And Cobra is Zorn's. I said yesterday it's his stairway to heaven. I don't know a better term than that. It's kind of the ultimate Voltron Zorn experience, where it's usually a lot of players. There are some legendary performances of it from the past, and for people who, sure, the Venn diagram of people who know Big Ears content, and then and all that. But Zorn is one of, or Cobra is one of Zorn's game pieces, where there are rules for the improvisation, and he cues and directs the improvisation by kind of combining and recombining different players at different times. And as you all saw with Masada, goading the hell out of them to go.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Happily, everybody in Masada seemed happy to be yelled at by John Zorn.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm bummed that I didn't catch last night's trio. Was Awakening trio or whatever. Dave Lombardo,
Slayer, Zorn.
That is crazy.
And Medeski, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Murderer's Row.
I have been spending a lot of time listening to that Simulacrum record, where Medeski, it's a Zorn record with Medeski on organ, and it's like a doom metal organ trio. So I'm bummed that I missed that, but it was, again, there are choices to be made. Sometimes the choice is even you have to go to bed.
Yeah. Who I didn't mention was Lucretia Dalt. I saw that show.
Who's going to be doing that Deep Taste? Or no, she's on a panel too, right?
Yeah, she might be with Jeremy.
I think with Jeremy.
Yeah. Lucretia Dalt was amazing as well. She's another person I'm kind of I struggle to describe. There's some element of sort of like PJ Harvey, To Bring You My Love kind of era. But that's not a great description anyway. But yeah, she was excellent. That was a great show. Really good performer. Kind of different in the way that it was like, compared to some of these, like a little more of a theatrical element to the performance. Just like, she walked on stage and everybody was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like we're here for Lucretia. It was super, super great.
Something else. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh no.
I was gonna say something else I wanted to shout out about this festival, which, there's so many nice things we could say, but one that I think is really crucial. The app for this festival is
very, very usable.
Fantastic.
It's a lifesaver.
Very usable. And in addition to the necessary stuff that you're going to get, like what time somebody's playing and where to go, really thoughtful and well put together descriptions of stuff. Down to, who's playing in the bands. And for guys like Zorn or whatever, that's probably a tough thing. You really got to pin down that stuff. So there's a lot of editorial integrity, and I think that's really cool, because if you're just looking for new stuff, there's a lot of writing there to give you some
it's not just names,
some context. And a lot of times when you see something like that, a description at a festival, it's usually just like the marketing copy cut and pasted. Not the case here. Like these are all like thought out, well put together. And that just speaks, I think, to the curatorial aspect of this.
Yeah, once again, if it's not obvious, it's a music festival by people who love music.
I think like one of the things that I really love too is that some of these venues are tiny or intimate, we'll say. And I love sometimes in the app it'll be like, all right, this show's at capacity, but then it says go to this other show.
You'll like this.
Something was at capacity and it was like, go check out Flores. And I was like, that's awesome. That's not just like it's at capacity, good luck.
No,
literally
absolutely.
diverting people and kind of making like suggest. And I don't even know if those are geographic. Like, is it?
It seemed like it.
This one's full, but like a block
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
A block away.
Might
you
be a
can
little
catch
bit.
this.
At least
Yeah.
one that I saw said something along the lines of "Go
Yeah,
next
that's really
door."
cool.
So, hey, let's.
Tap in.
How's it going? Yeah.
Come on in. This is Andrew. If you haven't met Andrew,
Andrew's
you know
helping.
Jason.
We've not met in person.
Not
Okay.
in person.
But-
We've talked on the internet.
And
My
old
dude,
Miami, sorry.
thank you for hanging with us.
We have
Thanks for
Matthew.
What does your hat say?
Yeah. What is
This
this?
is
It's-
Bad Bon.
Okay.
It's a venue in Switzerland that I played with Winged Wheel back in January.
Well, you
Beautiful.
just helped us with our very first question.
We got Matt Rowland here from Winged Wheel. There was some question
Oh,
yesterday
yeah, I'm on camera.
about the there's a question about the pronunciation of your band's name, whether it's winged or winged.
So I don't think that there's a correct answer, but that being said, I call it Winged Wheel.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't. The extra syllable is not necessary.
Right,
but
right,
if you,
right.
if you want to throw it in there,
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
free.
If you're feeling
you know?
fancy,
Yeah.
I think it's like the honorific term. You know, if you're like, yeah, the winged wheel is when they're.
Winged wheel.
Yeah,
I mean,
when- yeah.
look at me. I'm not exactly the fanciest guy. You know, I don't know. But
when did you get into town, Matt?
about like 5-ish yesterday, and then I was like trying to figure out where. I drove here from Cleveland, so I was trying to figure out where to park and then load like records and stuff in, and then I just kind of got swept up immediately every 5 seconds running into someone, and it was a crazy day.
That's
yesterday.
awesome.
Yeah. Have you haven't been to Big Ears before?
I have not
This
been
is
to
the
Big
first
Ears
time?
before. Yeah,
Yeah.
first
That's the
time.
same as us. Like we had never been out here.
I almost brought my hat, my aquarium drunkard hat.
Oh yeah. And,
That would-
it's a good like link up. I mean, Jason has his. We showed up and we were just like, okay, we know who we are.
When
This
we
is
were
us.
both wearing it, I felt a little bit like we were like some sort of aquarium drunk, like a janitorial service or something.
I mean, imagine if all three of us were wearing.
I mean, it would have been truly. It
We're
would have
gonna go
been.
do a softball team later. It's gonna be good.
For those who are curious,
Yeah.
if anybody's looking at Tyler's hat and they want one, like
Oh, yeah.
like Matt
We
has,
can plug that.
they are on the site, and including now like a purple
Yeah.
one.
There's some
Really cool
some
looking.
wacky.
you just
wacky
have
colors.
to sell your soul to
Yeah, that is required.
the
of course.
satanic lord,
That's right.
and then it
Justin,
shows up.
Justin Gage, aka Lucifer. Just
He's
just
got many
get-
names.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
Baphomet. I think whatever.
Yeah. So you're here with Winged Wheel.
Winged or winged.
Is this
wheel.
the first time you guys have played together since your European tour? Like,
Yes,
I mean,
this is the first time that we are playing together since the European.
The European tour looked. Am I correct in that it was no days off?
No days off.
How many days in a row?
Like at least 16.
That is pretty wild. I mean, I know that things are a little closer together out there, so you can get from place to place. But
We
at
had,
the same time as going into different countries, I imagine it's just like
I mean, we had a lot of like 4 to 5 hour drives.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It wasn't like Northeast or something like that
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
which is the plushest place to tour.
yeah. You're like we got a 45-minute drive.
Like,
Let's do
oh
it.
man, I got to drive a half hour, and like there's gonna be 500 people at the show.
Yeah.
Bummer.
This is tough. Yeah. But was it fun? Was Europe fun?
It was great.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
great. I don't know how close I have to hold this thing to me. All right.
Yeah.
I've never used a microphone before. Sorry.
You're doing an incredible job. Ann Horton, as we've said, riding the faders.
riding
This
the
guy
faders
is,
right now.
This guy's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are compressed and equalized, and
I need
staged.
all the help I can get.
I was
right
going to ask, can you
got
put
you.
delay on my mic? Is that happening?
I don't have delay.
Oh, I'm out. I
We
gotta
can do
go.
it. We could do it in post production.
Yeah.
He does have one of those. There's some buttons on there, so you can cue womp womp and stuff like that. So if we need to drop one for you, let us know.
You're definitely going to need to do
Sad
that like
trombone
every
or-
2 seconds, probably.
Yeah. But
Trombone.
yeah. So Europe. I mean, you guys. I mean, that's like, is that the longest tour you guys have done? Maybe.
That is the longest tour
Yeah.
we've done. I think like the longest one prior to that was maybe like 7. It was like 8 shows. or
Yeah.
something. It was like maybe like a week and a half or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. I mean, everybody in the band, Winged Wheel, different projects, different stuff going on. So I imagine the scheduling is a serious
we are
concern.
kind of a logistical nightmare. So
Do you guys do spreadsheets?
I think we're getting to that point.
Who's the
That-
spreadsheet king?
Fred is the spreadsheet king.
Okay,
for
good.
sure. I think Corey would be a close second.
Yeah.
like it's a weird band for me because like with all of my other projects, I'm so used to doing like everything myself.
Right.
And in this one, I really like Fred and Corey are just like, I'm
here.
doing this, you know.
You plug in and play.
That must be kind of nice.
It's nice, but it also like makes you feel like you're being lazy or something.
Oh, sure.
You know? When you're
Am I
like,
doing enough?
yeah, I'm always like apologizing for like not doing enough, and then like they get angry at me, and then I get locked in this little box in the corner of our like
That's great.
imaginary practice space. So
Steve Shelley throwing food at you.
Steve Shelley beats me on a regular basis. Yeah.
So, it's funny you mentioned the band spreadsheet. I'm always curious. I've asked a few different artists about this. Do you guys have a band text? Do you have
Yes.
a text thread that's always going?
We do, and
It's not fit for public consumption, I imagine.
I mean, does any band
No,
text thread
I just
fit?
say a text thread. Dangerous zone.
Most text threads, they're safe spaces where you can make weird jokes that not everybody sees. But I think it's usually a fun thing for not just jokes, memes, whatever.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
Sometimes business.
I think that like I'm probably the worst culprit at like texting them unnecessary stuff. So I feel like I don't know. I'll have like a day or something, and then I'm just like, here's like a terrible meme about like the alternative Super Bowl halftime show,
and then crickets.
And then like usually like Fred or like Will kind of be like, ha ha.
Yeah, they'll tap the ha ha, and you're like, oh, okay.
And then everyone else's silence. I know what that means,
I think in most of my threads, I'm the worst culprit of the ha-ha response, What's even worse is when you just do the ha-ha, you press the button and hold it, and then it highlights the text as ha-ha.
Yeah.
Because that feels even less...
So I guess
very sarcastic.
Feels even less effort.
Fortunately for me, they're kind.
You have kind bandmates. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is it, because I mean, you guys are like you're like a long distance, at least beginning, you're a long distance band, but now you've been in the van literally, but it's worked.
I mean, we drove ourselves too for that whole Euro tour, and it was even. This goes back to me feeling lazy, but when Corey got the van, he like booked it from a guy called that runs a company called Seek Harbor out of Prague.
Okay.
And I guess he didn't realize that it was a stick shift.
Oh my God.
And I'm not like the manliest man or whatever, so I do not know how to drive stick shift.
Yeah.
And only like Will and Whitney knew how to do it.
It was like, you guys are driving.
I was just like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna
sit
in the back.
I'm gonna listen to the podcast. It's cool.
Try not to freak out about like driving through these icy streets in Germany.
I know. Yeah, it was the dead of winter too. That's another serious time to be in Prague.
It was, it was fine.
Yeah,
It was a little sketchy the first couple days, but then after that it cleared up and it was fine.
Yeah. We were talking about it. What's the temperature check? How are people accepting people from the U.S. of A. and Europe these days? They're excited to see you.
Everyone was really, really nice to us. I can't even like begin to explain how like grateful I am about like how our shows went and how kind everyone was to us. I mean, to be fair, being from the USA, going over there right now, we deserve to get our asses handed to us, and so pretty often after like the gig or whatever, I would be talking to people outside or something, and then eventually they'd be like, "What's going on over there, man?" And I'm like, I don't.
You get
nothing good right now.
At the end of a set, you're just like, by the way, sorry.
Yeah, like
apologies.
It's kind of cool though. This festival particularly, I ran into Grayson, who popped on with us yesterday. I ran into him on the street, and we were talking a little bit about the panel he's doing with Mark Ribot, and
Mark, a guy who doesn't speak his mind all that
exactly.
much.
Mark Ribot, who's not known for his stances. But no, they were talking about that. They're doing like a little like music, like a labor focused discussion.
Oh, nice.
And then they're gonna go out and do like a No Kings musical thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool that even though things are obviously quite dicey and bad in our country, that even at a thing like this where people are gathered to do cool stuff or whatever, they're also incorporating a kind of activism that doesn't feel performative or whatever. It's just sort of like, no, this is a place where we can actually push things a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and even like when we were over in Europe, it's like there was places where like they're having similar issues, just not quite as on a
that's actually
look at this moron kind of situation. It's like more of a legitimately scary kind of thing.
They invented fascism, so I mean, you know, like,
I mean, not that it's not legitimately scary here too, because it definitely is, but you know, there's not like that kind of like clown mask on it.
True.
So,
right. Yeah.
You know, I just, not to like keep going on about the state of the world or whatever, but I just don't understand why it's so difficult to like care about how another person is doing. You know, like it's not very hard to like wish well upon people, even if you don't know them. So
I think that's true.
It's not. I think you know, we talked about this just a little bit yesterday about how the kind of music that you're seeing at a festival like this, especially in the improvisational thing, there's a utopian quality to sort of the improv
Anything
idea.
can happen.
Anything can happen.
Everything accepted.
What is required is like listening and responding in kind to the other players. And so in a weird way, I think that's one of the ways that you build up the ability to care about how another person feels. It's just sort of by like being in a space where you're acknowledging their existence, you know they're a person, and you're extending your, you know, humanity. So I don't know. It's like, I don't want to get too highfalutin and say like big ears will save the world. But in a weird way, I sort of feel like the artistic impulse
jazz will save the world.
Save America.
I mean, like being in a band is just kind of like being in a relationship in general with another human being, and you know, in order for like a relationship to flourish, you have to give and take when it's necessary, and you can't like shred like Yngwie Malmsteen solos like nonstop. No offense, I'm not making fun of Yngwie Malmsteen, but like that being said, if you did that,
He's watching. He chimed in earlier. He's really excited. He's bummed he missed
take a number, bub. You know, there's a long list of people that are gunning for me before Yngwie.
But no, I know you're right. You're right. You can't just. It's not about you only, but there are moments where it is about you, and then it's like that back and forth.
Yeah. And like, if you don't do that, then what you're doing is probably not good. Or, you know.
I keep coming back to. I saw Jimmy Dale Gilmore and Butch Hancock yesterday. The Flatlanders guys. There was a line that I was like, it's a different line. I quoted it to Seth, a different line, but the line is, "You're just a wave, not the water." And I was like, yeah, that's kind of like what everybody's doing here. Just a wave. You're not the, you like, it's not you.
I like that. That's good.
It is good. It's, you know, they're like a Zen country act.
Zen cowboys.
Buddhist cowboys. It's
Buddhist
really
cowboys. Yeah. And as far as I know, the only Big Ears artist who appeared in The Big Lebowski
is John Goodman not playing.
Moondog's featured in the Moondog's not with us, but they played his music.
John Turturro's.
He's gonna do.
He's probably sitting in with
Zorn. Oh, okay, get in here. We can.
Should we bring?
Chris. But yeah, no, I mean,
hop on in, buddy.
You want to tap in?
Just get in.
There you go.
Don't prep.
All right, we got
Forsyth.
I'm on my second coffee and I'm somehow still asleep.
Chris
so
Forsyth,
you're gonna do great, Chris.
Matthew.
I'm on my second sip of coffee.
All right.
Yeah. When is this collaboration gonna happen? What are you guys gonna do?
I mean, we collaborate in Cleveland all the time at the pool table.
I'm really, really bad at pool.
Are you good at pool?
I play pool.
You play
He's
pool.
much better than I am.
Okay. It's not a.
If Michael Avery is listening, he will remember with great chagrin the time I beat him 3 times in Cleveland last.
Wow.
Michael Avery is a competitive pool player.
He got very angry.
Yeah.
Still hasn't paid me the $5.
Yeah.
The venue that was at no longer is there anymore because.
Oh no! Really?
Yeah, because
Little Rose?
Michael like steamrolled it.
Oh, that right.
After all the
of course.
pool losses.
Yeah. You won't like him when he's angry.
Yes. Yeah. He looks serious. We were just talking about Basic and seeing Michael play those parts. We were saying that like I was impressed. There were parts that were programmed that I assumed he was playing and then there were parts that were he was playing that I assumed were programmed. It was like just sort of a whole like
it makes it's different to watch him do it than to just hear it.
It was kind of incredible to watch that, and I mean, obviously, he's just like locked in regardless. Can you? He is unable to. Can you shake him at all? Have you ever gotten him to get off beat?
No, that's Doug and my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We lay the clams and get off the beat, and Michael holds it together. It's good.
Nice.
You guys sounded great yesterday. It was a really cool gig. We were talking about you guys before you popped on, and I mentioned something along the lines of everybody was playing rhythm in a certain way. Like it's such a rhythmic project. And it was really fantastic.
I think that's a apt observation for sure. Yeah,
it was. But I loved how locked in it was, and we all sort of appreciated the slight juxtaposition of the sort of sports bar vibe with your guys' cool angular art rock. I mean, I legitimately loved it.
You'll be playing that too. There's a giant Miller Lite mural behind where you guys are playing. So.
Yeah, I saw that gig last night.
It always reminds me of there's a.
You might be able to pick up a gig cleaning the lines there if you need.
I could always use more work. Music certainly doesn't pay.
But something like that juxtaposition always reminds me of like. Well, on one hand, like Twin Peaks, where it's like supposed to be some small town in, Washington, but then it's just like every synth pop and indie rock band. So for some reason, they make a special stop.
Yeah.
Or there's a Jim Jarmusch movie, Broken Flowers, where these like redneck maniacs pull up and they're listening to Sleep, the doom metal band. And I like to imagine a world where like these dirtbag types are like, I'm really into what they're putting out on, Zadok Records
Southern
or
Lord.
whatever. I'm way into Southern Lord.
Very much our target demographic, basically. For sure.
Dirtbag.
The avant dirtbag.
Yeah.
Jim's from my city where I'm from, so I would occasionally see him when he was in town at like guitar shops and stuff. But
oh, that's awesome.
I kind of expect to see him walk by here. I mean, it seems like he'd be in the scene. But I haven't.
They got to get. I'm sure Squirrel has played
probably
this festival at one point or another.
Actually, Dope Smoker fans probably really like my other main project with Jen.
Yeah. The power's rolling.
We play like one note for a really, really long time.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's cool stuff, and again, just seeing seeing cool art stuff in a cool, humble little location is a good feeling.
Yeah.
And also the Miller Lite that I had while watching you was really good. So that advertisement is apt. What did you see anything that blew your mind last night, Chris, or anything since you got in town?
I saw the Rob Mazurek thing at the gallery nearby with it's basically the Mastermind band. The Mastermind, that's a bunch of Philly homies that played on that, and they were in that too. So Michael was on it. Joey Sullivan, who's sitting over there. What's up, Joey? Who plays with me in What Is Now, and also Coca Leaves and Pearls was in it. Victor Vieira Bronco, John Moran from What Is Now and Bart Culture. And Matt Bauder.
Did they get nominated for an Oscar for that or not?
I don't believe so.
Okay, maybe it was a Golden Globe. I don't know. There's some. I feel like they were. I was like, Mazurek's going to be, scoring the next. I don't know, Spielberg or something.
Yeah, I didn't see his red carpet appearance. So,
that'd be good.
I would like to.
But that was good. I enjoyed that, and they were performing kind of amongst an installation of artwork of Rob's.
Oh yeah, I walked by and it looked awesome. In the space, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Tyler and I saw Dirty 3 last night.
We were Dirty 3ing. Yeah.
I was there too.
Yep. It's nice to see somebody who believes in what they're doing to the degree that Warren Ellis does. I mean, the guy has no doubt whatsoever.
Yeah. And he's been like that for a long. I mean, that's just that's been his thing. Even I think he did mention he was like the first time we came out to the United States, we were playing to like 5 people somewhere, and he was like, look at this.
Yeah.
But he was probably, he was probably kind of the same when he was playing to 5 people.
I mean, that's the one of the tricks, right? Like I was in an old band, and the drummer told me once, he said, you play the same way to 20 people as you would play to 20,000. And I said, all right, well, I know how to do one of those numbers.
How do I play
I really
20,000?
know how to play to 20 people.
I'm still kind of like processing what I saw last night at that gig, and I
Yeah.
don't really know what to say about it. But I do.
Pretty
really,
transcendent.
You're on the record here, Matt.
I am on the
Yeah,
record.
yeah.
I'm not. I don't mean this in a bad way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't kill me, Jim or Warren. But I did love that they came out to a raging Boz Skaggs.
Did they?
Oh,
We
I missed that. We missed
Yeah,
that.
and then like
Pretty
Warren like was like he like pulled a lady up from the crowd and was like, damn. And I was just like, wow, this is not what I was expecting
this-
because I had not seen them before.
Did they cover Lowdown at their show last night? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
You know? Yeah.
But
Awesome.
you're saying they walked out to Boz Skaggs?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
I mean, at least I think they did. It
That's
sounded
good.
like it to me. But I think like my brain stopped functioning like within the first 5 seconds of that. So
How fantastic. How fantastic is that?
That was pretty good. Yeah. Well, what are you going to see today, Chris? What's the plan?
Oh, geez. I mean, kind of going to do what I did yesterday, which is just
Float.
walk 30 feet, bump into some friends,
Yeah.
go wherever they're going,
Yeah.
and then do that all day.
Yeah. I think
Same.
I think that's kind of
Is
the
that,
zone.
is that your plan too? Just kind of
it is my plan.
go with the spirit of wandering and see where you end up?
Yeah, like yesterday, I ended up at a food hall with the rest of the Wing Wheel bandmates, Thurston Moore, Ethan Miller, and Bill Orcutt, and we were sitting there eating food, listening to Coldplay,
Nice.
and I was like,
Hell yeah. What's
this is like the best set of the fest for me. Like, sitting around listening to Coldplay with a bunch of people that I'm like, I'm so confused why I'm even here, but this is just what's happening. Yeah.
So Bill seems perplexed at the pronunciation of winged wheel.
We've discussed.
Did we cover this?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Is Orcutt on the winged tip?
I don't. Oh,
Yeah?
he's on the winged tip.
I believe
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
he's a fancy man.
Yeah.
We
I
took
mean,
it to be like a West Coast, East Coast thing. I don't know. But then again, he's originally East Coast.
Well,
if you call
Yins or
count
y'all.
Florida, is that?
nah. Miami is. I mean, I guess Miami's its own thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as far as like, yeah, I don't think we definitely don't have the producer all up in our video or anything like that. You know, like so this isn't like a death row bad boy situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here the South has something to say, obviously, as well. So
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you need a little mystery. Chris, can we talk? I mean, you guys are playing a bunch of new material. Are we allowed to discuss your new record? Okay. I wasn't sure if it was announced or whatever, but
It's being announced on Tuesday, or it looks like it's being announced right here, Tyler.
The scoop troop. Let's
live.
do it.
Horton, hit the exclusive button.
Yeah, hit the exclusive. Yeah, he's doing all kinds of drops right now. It's
Yeah.
you
guys- we don't have headphones on, but it's all.
Yeah. So you got a record coming out. When does it come out? June?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Tell us about it.
Well, it's me, Michael, and Doug spent a couple days at Electrical Audio in Chicago in September, around the time that we played at the Sound and Gravity Festival out there.
Yeah.
We kind of made it up in the studio. We had like maybe we had like 2 songs that we had been playing live, and then a couple that we were trying to figure out, and then we just sort of kind of turned it on when we were there. So it was a little bit it was kind of difficult for me. I didn't really know what it was until it was done. Honestly, like when we were mixing it, there was tracks that I was like, there's nothing there, and then I was like, oh, there is something there. So that's exciting to me, that it was sort of like not as predetermined as a lot of other stuff that I've done. And even the first Basic record, I mean, that was a set that we'd been playing. We just went into the studio, sat down, and played every song twice.
Yeah.
So this was a much more sort of creative process in the sense of manifesting it while we were there.
That's awesome.
And John Moran from What Is Now and Bark Culture plays double bass on a few tracks on it. He sat in with us yesterday.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it feels like some kind of new surprise still.
Yeah. I've heard it, and I mean, it does have it has kind of that sound that you guys have been mining for the last couple of releases, but it does have also like some very cool new elements. As you said, the double bass, there's a little acoustic guitar in there, but yeah, it's just like, it sounds cool. The one, there's a percussion effect that goes on that Michael's doing, and I was like, what is this reminding me of? I was like, it is a little bit like the 13th floor elevators.
Jug.
Jug.
Yeah,
And
nice.
I was like people are like, we got to bring back that sound. You know, there's not enough of that. Just like that high pitched kind of thing. Which
Yeah, well, you know, when I started playing with Michael, the thing that I was so thrilled about was that I'd always imagined, like, I know that it was just the drummer hitting a pad, but like in like those King Sunny Ade records or something, it sounds like there's just a guy who's like, do, do. His whole job is to just be like, do, 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 do.
Yeah,
You know, kind of like that. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, great, we've got that guy in the band.
He can do the do.
What's that Joy Division song that has like the laser sound effects off Unknown Pleasures?
Man,
like
I don't know.
That. I can't. I'm like.
It's not isolation. It's I can't.
It doesn't matter, but yeah.
Disorder.
Disorder is the one. Yeah, that's true.
What are the odds that Joy Division has come up both times we've done this podcast
They're
now?
good. The odds are good.
Yeah, because Thurston, I think Thurston and Kramer brought Joy Division up too.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, they have
Amazing.
a Joy Division cover.
I'm always ripping off Thurston and
No,
Kramer.
you're tapped in. You're tapped in. You're tapped in. That's all it is.
It's just part of the deal. But what about you guys? You guys put out a record, Desert So Green,
we
earlier
did it
this year.
Yeah, early in January. It's our third record.
It is awesome. I love it.
And I also I have to say I understand what you mean by when you're working on a record and you're like, there's nothing there, and then you're like, oh wait, just kidding.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of how we operated for this record.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like we had ideas and stuff like that, but there was definitely like, you know, this. Well, at least I'm not going to speak for the rest of the band, but for me personally, like,
go ahead.
Every other, pretty much every record we've done so far, like when we're done tracking, I'm kind of just like, is this even like good or anything, you know? And then Fred works his little, you know, mixing magic and editing magic, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, this could be good. I don't know. You know?
It is good. I'll answer for you. That's very good.
Well, thank you.
Well, one of my goals with the basic, even starting it originally, was that I didn't want to really play lead guitar, and I didn't want to be the main songwriter.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for everything, and so that mission was accomplished in both cases here.
Yeah.
Doug and Michael brought stuff in too that I never would have thought of. And
Yeah. No, I mean, it's awesome. Yeah, you guys are both in these bands with these kind of like, I mean, Doug McCombs, obviously, I don't know if he needs an introduction, but he's, you know, living legend. And then Steve Shelley and Winged Wheel, Sonic Youth, the Crucifix. But yeah, I mean, what's, you know, playing with those guys? Is it like, I mean, suddenly Steve Shelley's in the band. What's that like?
I don't know if I really have an answer for that.
Heck of a drummer.
Yeah,
He's good.
He's a good drummer.
I don't have to worry about like
He knows-
the
he knows-
drums
yeah,
sucking.
yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean,
He knows where to be at what time.
Yeah, right. He knows good places to eat in Prague.
I'm sure.
yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, ever since I've known Steve now, which has been 3 or 4 years or something, he always surprises me with some random piece of information that he just has sitting back there that he's like, you know what, this is the time that I'm gonna hit Matt with this. Right?
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah. These sort of people, I'm sure they just have like endless lore in the back of their minds. But yeah, Doug is such a great addition to Basic. I mean, it is just like his sound. Obviously, the 6-string bass that he's doing is like one of those. I mean, it's just like, I hate to use the word, but like iconic sounds. But it sounds so good in this context too, where it's like it's a different
kind of different than like the Brokeback stuff or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I mean, I love the way it sounds in that.
Yeah.
The context changes the approach, which is of course the case for, you know.
I feel like Doug is, some of the stuff he's doing now is way more kind of like aggressive and sonic and feedbacky kind of than I've heard him often do in the past. Is, you know, a lot of his guitar playing and the bass 6 playing in the past, I think, was being very kind of like contained in space and clean and like right in the pocket. But there's some stuff that he's doing now that's like, just wild.
Yeah, on the new record, there's a point where, and
Hendrix on 6-string bass kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it was like this incredibly high pitched sort of like an alarm bell or something. I didn't, but I was like, oh no, that is him doing that thing. I thought that it was you, maybe, or maybe Michael. I don't know, but it was like this very like, and I was like, oh, he can do that too.
Yeah,
That's it.
when you guys played Cleveland, I was standing like pretty much right next to where Doug was playing, and it was really cool to watch him do what he was doing. Because I have this like weird no explanation for it thing where if I see a bass that has more than 4 strings on it, I'm like already like, ugh.
Yeah,
You're a false
you have
bassist.
questions.
Yeah.
You have questions. Yeah.
Okay, look.
But you know what? Here's the thing. Doug does the right thing on stage. He doesn't move a muscle.
Yeah.
Like his neck sometimes goes like this. But like bass players should be, you know,
I mean, he was grooving for sure.
attached to the ground, like locked in. Like, and Doug is always going to do that. Yeah.
It was really cool what he was doing, and and a lot of that I thought was you, but it was actually Doug, and I was like, wow, all right.
I just drive the van.
I'm with you though. I'm suspicious. I see 5 strings, and I'm suspicious. If it gets to 6, then I'm back on board.
Yeah, I think,
it's just that middle zone for me. 4 or 6.
Can we take the frets off? Is this a possibility?
Well, I mean, I saw Pino Palladino yesterday,
okay,
and I don't know if he was playing a fretless. I think he was. It sounded fretless.
Andrew Scott
I think
Young,
Blake Mills was playing a fretless
Blake
guitar.
Mills was definitely playing a fretless guitar, which sounded really weird and great. I mean, so you can frets on or off.
Yeah. Andrew Scott, he's with Riley. He plays with Riley,
He used to
right?
play with Riley.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Has he gone fretless?
Yeah, he's been
Don't
fretless
let your friends
for a
go
while.
fretless.
And Andrew can do whatever he wants to the bass because he's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what other questions do I have? Oh, well, I mean, we should talk about since you mentioned Joey over there, Cocoa Leaves and Pearls, Chris's incredible Neil Young cover band, who also provided the incredible soundtrack to the All One Song podcast, which is kicking off very soon.
Wednesday,
and
April 1st.
Yeah. We're
Featuring Cocoa Leaves and Pearls. Your
Air horn.
Your
Cocoa
Neil
Leaves and
style. Well, you do real Neil
reverent,
Young
but not
songs.
imitative. That's,
Yeah, you
that's
do.
the guiding light.
Yeah.
Have you always been? Has Neil does he go back for you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all the
I
way.
mean,
yeah.
All the way. Yep, for sure.
He's the guy.
I mean, my I think I discovered Neil Young in 7th or 8th grade when Miss DeMassey, history teacher from Bayonne, New Jersey, brought in Decade and played a Southern man when she was teaching us about the Civil War and
rights.
slavery.
Okay, yeah.
And and the guitar kind of stuck with me.
Nice.
That's amazing.
And you guys are playing Danger Bird currently.
Yeah, because we actually were lucky enough to play a Neil Young show at the end of last.
That's true.
year.
That's right.
That's right. I tried to go to that, and then they changed the date, right?
Yeah,
Didn't
the date got
zigged
moved
and
back a
zagged?
day because he didn't want to play 2 shows back to back or something.
Yeah.
So we ended up having a day off because of that, because we had other shows booked leading up to the Neil Young gig at the end. And so we had a day off. So we ended up just being at this studio in upstate New York, kind of close, that a friend of ours runs. And we were like, well, let's just cover a Neil Young song,
That's awesome.
Did that one present itself pretty quickly as something that everybody would get into?
Much like everything else in this band, it's kind of just I don't know how this happened, but let's just do it. And it's fun, So we were actually playing that some nights on that European tour. At the end, just for fun.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I love Neil Young, and as a guitar player too, obviously huge influence and all that stuff. Not to mention that he's an amazing songwriter too. But trying to having to try to sort of sound Neil-y in front of other people is very stressful for me. So, and now that I'm saying this, they're probably gonna make me play that song tonight. So
Please, I'll request it right now. I want to hear it. I thought the cover worked really well. I thought it was that song is it's one of his kind of heavier, almost, as you were saying, drone.
Yeah, initially we were gonna do it with vocals and kind of it sounded almost like an actual cover of it or whatever. And then we were like, well, what if we just take all the guitars out at the beginning and then instead of having vocals, let's just have Whitney play viola through a metal zone pedal. That makes sense, right?
Sure.
But it was fun.
The old classic Boss metal zone. You gotta do it.
Shout out Boss.
Gotta do it to them. They sponsor this
underrated.
podcast. No, I'm just kidding. Eventually.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Hey, Boss Pedal's good enough for Prince.
Yeah.
No, it's good enough for you. What about what are you guys doing after? Are you guys playing more shows this year, or are you taking a break?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not really sure. I know that like I'll
Consult the spreadsheet.
Other than some solo gigs that I'm doing with Luke Schneider
nice.
at the end of April, just kind of around where I live in Ohio.
Are you going to come play Jerry's?
I mean, I would love to. I mean, I love playing your place. It's great.
Yeah.
Jerry's.
Come play Jerry's.
Shout out
Chris
Jerry's
venue,
on front.
yeah.
Chris is
Jerry's
great.
on front.
Yeah.
In Philly. I've played there at least 3 or 4 times now or something. And it's always a great time.
It is a very nice place. I enjoyed my time there. I love I mean, it's kind of like this where it's like the storefront aspect of it brings a whole other element to the performance.
Crowd on the street here looks a little bit different than the crowd on Front Street at
Actually, I got
10 o'clock on a Friday night.
I got a good story about that. So when I think the first time I played there or whatever, I was playing drums from this old band that I used to be in
That's
Chicago.
right. I forgot about that.
And we were on tour with a band from France who had never been to America before.
They went to Front Street.
And we went to Jerry's, and when we pulled up, they had beaten us there, and they were like standing outside, and like one of them looked at me and was like, "Is this where Batman's parents murdered?"
This is
And I
where
was
heroes are formed.
I was like, the vibe is right, the city is not right. You know?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's a good,
when we were
good
there,
take.
the what's the name of the motorcycle gang? The Soul Riders or something? There's a Philly like some sort of. It was like a motorcycle gang that just like a whole.
Like the dirt bike guys?
No, it was like.
Or like bikers?
We're talking hogs.
Bikers, hogs. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was just like a whole line going down, front or wrapping around. It was an exciting moment.
Yeah.
Tyler got jumped in right
Yeah,
after
yeah,
that.
no, I
They
got-
jumped him in. He's
I'm
he's got his patches. You know.
barely recovered. But yeah, no. Jerry's on front. This is Chris's
Was it the night
club.
that you played also that the kind of the marching band people came down the street?
Yeah, that too. Yeah. And there was maybe
Like homespun marching band. Yeah.
homespun marching band.
It
Fist
sounds
fights.
like you guys are making this up.
No,
It sounds
it's,
like
I
a
fully
fable.
believe it. I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But yeah,
fantastic.
it's an awesome spot. But yeah, so Winged Wheel. Chris, what about you? You guys are touring more. You've just gotten off the road with What Is Now.
Yeah, we did the What Is Now did 5 shows down the East Coast on the way here with Orchid Shelley Miller.
Yeah.
When I come back from this, I'm actually going up to play a one-off up in Kingston with Luna.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
You're playing solo?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
And then in June, when the record comes out, Basic is going to do a few shows in the Northeast of our own, and we're going to do, I think, 4 or 5 shows with Tortoise. So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
And then this spring, What Is Now is doing like a monthly gig at in the bar at Solar Myth, which is a really excellent bar and venue in Philly.
Yeah.
Like a no cover, 2 sets a night kind of thing.
Yeah.
So-
We should mention What Is Now. Chris just put out a great CD with this trio, What Is Now. And yeah, I love it. That's like ongoing. That's like, are you recording more? Or are you?
Well, we multi-tracked like 3 of the shows that we played this week, and we felt good about them. So curious to hear those.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a going concern.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And it is. You guys are just like, as far as repertoire, you guys are just improvising, right? It is
Completely.
Fully, yeah.
Yeah, when we started playing together, we kind of played around with the idea of having some element of tunes or structures or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like it was better when we didn't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I love
it's
it.
that way.
Yeah.
Basic has tunes, but they're like sometimes they're just like a wisp that we like kind of hint at, but like What Is Now is like just wide open. Yeah.
Matt, what about you? Power's rolling. When is that happening?
We
In a
have.
minute.
Yeah, it has. I think our last record came out in 2024.
Yeah.
We have a new one that's done. It was done being recorded and it was mastered in December of last year, but we're waiting on artwork for it. We don't know who's going to put it out yet, which I haven't even really tried yet.
Yeah.
And then also Jen finally got into the Cleveland Public Library system.
Congratulations, Jen.
So she is,
Jen.
the reason why she's not here right now is because she's on a 6-month work probation.
She has a
thing where
job?
she can't-
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No touring.
Sell out.
Not till
Specifically.
August. Yeah,
Yeah.
not till August. So
Yeah.
Got it.
so that's why we kind of haven't been trying to light the fire of getting this record out or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think if you like the other ones, you'll probably like this one too. But
It's a pure duo record. Like
Pure-
just the two of
just
you.
the two of us,
Okay.
and like there isn't.
That's a hell of a marketing strategy right there.
It's a hell of a song too.
Yeah.
Just the two of us, But yeah, the marketing strategy. I'm gonna break this to get that air horn right.
Okay, get ready.
So
land some truth.
unlike all the other records, this one, wait for this. There's one song where there's not one chord, 2 chords.
Jazz.
Go off.
You've gone jazz.
We're going crazy. Yeah.
They've gone jazz. Goes to Big Ears once.
Now you don't
Learns a second chord.
Now you don't have to buy the record because I just ruined the surprise. But
Are you really doing the air horn sound?
Are you allowed?
Thank you.
Are you allowed to tell us what the chords are?
you'll just have to find out on
Okay.
your own.
Okay.
But they're very jazzy.
Okay, most excellent.
All right, well, you heard it first. Disappointing release from Powers Roland coming
Yeah.
out.
It'll be like our first like widely reviewed record, and it'll just get panned super. I'm waiting for it.
Don't bother. No, that is exciting. It'll be good. Enterprising indie labels. Let's put this record out.
Yeah.
But we are gonna tour on it after Jen can tour again, which will be like September,
Fall or
October or something.
Most excellent. Well, this fall. And yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up our broadcast for today.
Jesus. Okay.
It flew by. It flew by. We're back tomorrow here at Old City Java. Once again, YouTube, Instagram, and then this stuff will eventually make it into the proper podcast feed after All One Song,
Air horns and all.
which Chris soundtracked. And Chris, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing it.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you so much
And
for having
Old
me.
City Java, once again, thanks for having us. Big Ears. We'll be back tomorrow with our final broadcast of the festival. And come hang out and watch. And thanks to everybody who tuned in and left a comment, unless there were any mean comments. And if there were, no thanks to that person.
No,
But I
thank
think
you,
we're all
sir.
good. So thanks so much, guys. We'll be back tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.